Hello, class. Welcome to Story Writing Lesson 5. So today we're going to be talking about beginning, middle, and end of a story. But before we do that, I'm going to read you a story. This is called Jack's Tale. You might know it as Jack and the Beanstalk. Howdy, I'm Jack. Mom and I used to be poor. We didn't have much except one cow. One day, Mom said, "We have no money for food. We'll have to sell the cow." So I took the cow to market. On the way, I met a funny little man. "If you give me your cow," said the man, "I'll give you 5 magic beans." "What do they do?" I asked. "Wait and see," said the man. "But know this, Jack, they're magic." He knew my name. I love magic. I traded the cow for those beans and ran home as fast as I could. "What did you get for the cow?" Mom asked. This is a picture of the little man giving Jack the beans and taking his cow. Proudly, I showed her 4 of the magic beans. The 5th was stuck in my pocket. Mom was hopping mad. Hooey! She threw those beans out the window. During the night, the magic beans grew and grew. When I woke the next day, I saw a beanstalk that reached into the clouds. I climbed it up and up. At the top, I found a castle. Sure, I went inside. I wanted to look around, but the floor began to shake and rumble. I hid in a cupboard. Nearby, a voice roared, "Fee, fi, fo, fum! I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread." I peeked around the cupboard door. I saw a goose and a giant. The giant sat down and ate a huge meal of doughnuts. He fed one to the goose. Then the giant fell asleep. While he slept, the goose laid a perfect golden egg. Then another. I stepped out of the cupboard. I grabbed the goose and a doughnut and tiptoed away. But the giant woke up. He chased after us, roaring all the way. He was almost as mad as my mom. Hooey! I ran for my life, scrambling down the beanstalk. I shouted, "Mom, bring the axe!" She brought it. I grabbed it. Then I chopped the beanstalk with all my might. The beanstalk toppled down on the ground, and the giant fell from the sky. He landed with a crash. "Ow, ow, 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 ow," he moaned. "I think my leg is broken." Mom and I crept forward. The giant groaned and moaned some more. "He's hurt," she said. "He's dangerous," I said. "He's a thief," said the giant. "My goose laid golden eggs, and he stole her." "He's a man-eater," I said. The giant shrugged. I shrugged. My mom looked from the giant to the goose to me and back again. All the while, the giant kept moaning and groaning. "I can fix your leg," she said at last, "but you'll have to stay here until it heals." "Then what?" he groaned. "How do I get back to my castle?" I dug the 5th bean from my pocket. The giant looked surprised. "Fine," he grumbled. For the next 6 weeks, George the giant stayed with us. He ate a wagon load of food every day, but the goose laid golden eggs every day. Pretty soon, Mom and I weren't poor anymore. When George was healed, he stuffed the goose in his pocket and climbed back up to his castle. But sometimes the 2 of them dropped by, always at dinner time. Just reading a book, hon. And when they do, we all enjoy a bowl of Mom's green bean soup. All right, and that's the end of the story. All right, so beginning, middle, end. That's what we're talking about today. Hope you enjoyed the story. I thought it was a nice, funny version. Last lesson, we talked about problems and solutions. In this story, what was the problem and the solution? If you're with someone, tell them about it, or you can pretend you're talking to me and tell me. There were a couple problems. The big problem that Jack and his mother did not have any money. That Jack and his mother had was that they did not have any money. To solve that problem, Jack's mother gave him their cow to sell. Jack ended up trading the cow for magic beans. Jack's mother was furious and they had no money and no food. So that was the big problem of the story. There was also another problem. Another problem is that Jack climbed up the beanstalk and found the giant. The giant ended up chasing him down the beanstalk, wanting to eat him. So there were a couple problems in the story. You could even think of a third problem being the giant's leg was broken and it had to heal. But the big problem was that Jack and his mom didn't have any money. What was the solution to the story? The main solution is that Jack took the goose and was able to sell golden eggs for money. Jack and his mother were never broke again. So they just took the golden eggs while while the giant was healing. But then he would come for a visit, so probably he'd give him more golden eggs, I'm assuming. The other solution to the giant chasing him is that the giant got injured and couldn't eat Jack. The giant ended up becoming friends with Jack and his mother and came over for dinner often. So today we're going to talk about the beginning, middle, and end of a story. So I was just reviewing about problems and solutions from last time. When we talk about beginning, middle, and end, we think about timing and sequencing. What comes first, next, last, sort of thing. So the beginning is where stories usually introduce characters, introduce setting, sometimes introduce the problem. In the middle of the story, the problem might be introduced. It leads the reader through the event that solves the problem. In the end, you actually have closure where the problem gets solved, um, shared feelings about the experience, and any lessons learned, and any goodbyes. So, in the beginning of Jack and the Beanstalk, Jack and his mom had no food or money. Jack sold the cow. Jack got beans. Mom threw. Oh, that's the wrong threw. I gotta fix that. Threw the beans out the window. The beans grew a huge beanstalk, and Jack climbed the beanstalk. So that's at the beginning of the story. In the middle, Jack hid in the cupboard. Jack took the goose and laid golden eggs. You look at me editing my work that laid golden eggs. Giant discovered Jack and said, "Fee, fi, fo, fum." Jack ran away from the giant, and the giant chased Jack down the beanstalk. At the end of the story, Jack chopped down the beanstalk. The giant fell down. The giant, Jack, and his mom became friends, and he came over for dinner often. Jack and his mother were no longer broke from the golden eggs. Now for your activity. You're going to think of your character, your setting, and your problem solution. You're going to make a sequence for your story, thinking about the beginning, the middle, and the end. So how you're going to do that is this is your activity. You're going to think of your character, setting, problem, and solution. You're going to make a sequence for the story, thinking about the beginning, middle, and end. I would recommend at least 2 activities per section. To see my example below, please look below. So this is where you're going to write your beginning, middle, and end, and this is what I wrote for mine. So I also like to use my old information. I look at my character, I look at what I put for setting, I look at my problem solution, I look about my character, things about my character to help me think about this. So my beginning, Aria got a new pair of earrings. It was Aria's birthday. Her party was at her favorite park down the street from her townhouse. The middle of my story, Aria wore her new earrings to school. She noticed before going to bed that day how she only had one earring on. She hid her one earring and pretended she put them away for safekeeping. At the end of the story, Aria told her mom about the missing earring. Hang on. Aria and her mom looked together. They could not find the earring, but her mom told her it is okay to be honest with her. So that's what I did for mine. I want you to come up with your own story. I would recommend using your problem and solution. Remember, the problem usually comes up at the beginning or the middle of the story, and your solution is usually at the end of your story. Yeah, good luck. If you have any questions, let me know.